All right, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And for the Sagittarius that I'm speaking to today, I'm seeing that there's a lot of happiness around you with the Sun card. And that could be something that you're feeling pretty immediately. Like it's just kind of obvious. There's a lot of good things around you. But then I see that there could be something that kind of distracts you from that happiness or makes you second guess it. And it's something that comes from a mental energy within you. It's something that could kind of preoccupy your mind. So even though you're feeling good and you're feeling light and you're feeling happy, there's something mentally that kind of comes in and takes you away from that. And when I clarified what that is, I'm seeing that there's some anxiety around whether or not you can trust someone in your environment, possibly someone you shared a home or a workplace or a project with. And there's this feeling of maybe like, are they keeping secrets or how do they really feel? Or just this feeling of like, I can't totally trust them. That again, it takes you away from this other happiness that is really around you, and kind of makes you sort of guarded to other energies that might kind of come your way, including these sort of happy ones, because you're kind of holding on to whatever happened here with this energy outside of you, this person outside of you that you're kind of wondering if you can trust them. And it's sort of an energy of like, what's really going on under the surface with that person or those people? And, can I really like trust what's going on there? And so even though you're enjoying your life, it does take you out of it at times. So I'm going to dive deeper into those energies here. But before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do love to give personal readings, and you can email me down below in the description box for more information about that. And if you'd like to lend your energy to the channel in such a way that allows me to manifest messages that resonate more for you, you can like and subscribe. But let's see what we have going on here, Sagittarius. Even as you kind of experience these doubts, I do see that you're kind of stepping more into your confidence, more into your intuition, and kind of going with this more positive energy. And then every so often, you kind of get pulled down by this distraction or these thoughts about this other person, possibly someone from your past or someone that you had kind of built up, quite a bit of history with. It sort of pulls you out of the present, is what I'm seeing. So let's take a look at that energy. There could have been a change in a dynamic here that really upset you. Something that someone did, maybe something that someone said. It's like you were working towards building something with someone here, and then either they did something or they said something, or maybe you had a feeling here that shifted the dynamic in a way that you really didn't like. You're showing me a lot of upsetness over that shift because you're kind of showing me like, I can't trust that other energy, or I just can't work with them and balance with them the same way that I was. And yeah, I see like a real lack of trust, or like all your trust kind of being revoked, but not just from this other energy, also from, energies in your life that otherwise you would trust. Now you start to second guess them because of what you went through with this energy that you can't trust. So it sort of bleeds over into your other connections, or if not into your other connections, then at least into how you kind of see things, like your perspective kind of in general. Otherwise, you would be moving forward pretty confidently within yourself, but it's almost like you can't quite let go of whatever happened in the past. It kind of shifted the way you do things and the way you see other people doing things because you went through sort of this negative experience of just not fully being able to trust someone else kind of in your environment. I don't know what they did, but you're just showing me over and over again doubting someone that you were working with and then becoming really guarded towards working with others because of that experience. Let's take a look at your energy here. You had a lot of disappointment around this, whatever it was. Like maybe you thought it was going to be something that it ended up not being, or you really wanted it to succeed. You really wanted it to turn into something that would feel really good. You had high hopes. You're showing me wanting to work with this other energy and deep down being really disappointed that it didn't end up working out that way. And that disappointment, again, sort of bleeding into the rest of your perspective. And it kind of becomes something that over time traps your energy. And it traps your energy because maybe you're thinking about it, or you remain locked in this one perspective, when actually that's not the only way that things can happen. Not everyone is going to be like that. Not every situation is going to go that way. And I think you know that on some level, but there's a part of you that may want to maintain control, or not even control in the typical way that we think about it, but just you want to maintain an equilibrium. You want to hold everything in place. You want to make sure that things don't go wrong in that way again. And that really sets up a bit of a blockage to you, because you spend a lot of your energy maybe holding back from things or being guarded to things because you don't want sort of something to crash and burn the way that it did in the past. But I am seeing that whatever this was a past situation, and it's important that you don't carry this into the future, because in the current energy, I do see a lot of potential for success with someone else or something else, someone that really matches your energy, someone who kind of represents those hopes and dreams that maybe you do have underlying that disappointing experience, and someone who is a lot more balanced and maybe represents a more balanced situation, something where you don't have to run around correcting everything, or you don't have to walk on eggshells, you don't have to be defensive, because the energy is there for a more successful experience. So let's take a look at who this is. They're in the center of your reading here, and they're surrounded by two major arcana cards, which means that this is a significant energy to you. This isn't someone that's going to fly under your radar. This is something that you're very much going to notice, and it's going to have a significant impact on your life. So let's take a look. This is someone who they themselves might be getting over another energy or getting over something in the past. And there's this question of, are they also ready for you, or are they ready to come meet you where you're at? And so it's interesting because you're both healing from something. It comes through in sort of different ways, but you're both healing from something, and they're showing me independence and sort of the process of them reaching that independence as they heal from their past. And whatever happened in their past is something that was significant to them as well. And so they're showing me, as they start to open up again from whatever it is that they're healing from, they are kind of dipping their toes into the water of connection. Nothing serious, nothing intense, just kind of trying it out as well. But again, I'm seeing that you and this energy might be really aligned energetically, and so there is sort of the potential for some deeper connection here. So let's take a look at the energies around this person. You could have a lot of hopes for connecting with them, and so you could sort of be rushing your healing process in some way, because you're wanting to go out and meet this energy, and whoever this is, I'm seeing that they may be someone that or someone that you're about to meet. They're definitely around you in some way, even if they're not around you physically and you haven't physically met them yet. They're definitely around you energetically, or starting to enter your energy sphere. And your intuition is kind of sending you messages about this. And so as those messages kind of come in, also fears start to come up for you. And I think it has to do with your sense of trust. Can I trust this person? But your higher self is telling you, and not just telling you, but you're feeling it. Like, you're actively feeling this energy of, like, this feels really good, and this has the potential to feel really good. All signs point to go type of energy. So it's interesting because, you're moving through healing, their energy is moving through healing, And understandably, it brings up things, possibly for both of you, but definitely for you, around, am I ready for this? And then the allure of this is so strong, the potential, the idea, the desire for this type of connection is so strong that I see you sort of wanting to rush towards it. This is something that's going to feel so good and so right to you, that, and to this other person, that it's like, really, it's not going to be a question in anyone's mind of whether or not you should go towards this. It's really positive, and it's just kind of a matter of how much healing have both of you done. Like, are you ready to accept what you feel and what you know? It's interesting. They're also showing me this feeling of recognizing you and saying to themselves, sort of, like, I know that this is a good connection for me, which is really beautiful here. There's this need to sort of like stop holding back at a certain point and just go for it. And I see that either you or this other person is at some point going to stop holding back and just kind of go for it. But currently, even though you or they know on some level, like, yes, this is the person for me, it's sort of a matter of actually kind of externalizing what you're feeling and not just keeping it inside and keeping it under wraps. And so even though a lot of these things are being felt, I see that both energies here are moving through healing whatever they went through in the past, and it's just kind of a matter of time before they approach each other. And it really depends on that healing process and how much both of you are able to kind of rein in the voices in your head, the second guesses, the doubts, all of the mind chatter that could be keeping you from sort of following what you know and following what you feel. It's sort of a process too of wrestling with that. So there's sort of an internal battle going on here, and then an external experience as well. And ultimately, I see you both moving towards this connection and it feeling a lot better than what you both experienced in the past. But again, it does require you to have the strength to move towards what feels good. Let's take a look at the near future here. I'm hearing "follow your bliss," which is a quote from Joseph Campbell, who is a famous sort of literary critic, I think you could say. He writes about literature, and specifically he writes about the hero's journey and what makes sort of all essential stories, and what we can gather from them. And he writes about how the lesson in the hero's journey is to follow your bliss, follow your passion, follow what feels good. And so I'm hearing that in order for you and this other person to pursue what it is you truly want and pursue the truth of how you're feeling, you're going to have to just follow your bliss without necessarily knowing that everything's going to work out, and it's going to require you to kind of put behind your worries, your fears, your doubts, and to quiet your mind. So let's see here. Yeah, there's a really beautiful opportunity for a harmonious connection that's coming in, and you're going to feel it more and more as you move forward, and it's going to feel really strong. Like, you're not going to be able to pretend this isn't happening, because it's going to make itself known, and it's going to also put to rest those fears that we were talking about. Like, it's going to feel so good and so right that you're not going to have to worry anymore about all of those doubts, all of those fears that came from, possibly those past connections that were really worrying you and really stressing you out. It's going to put those to rest because it's going to feel so good. And I see you moving forward towards this opportunity. Yeah, it's all gonna work out here. You're well on your way to confidence and success and sort of feeling that It's just kind of a matter of you're going to have to feel that and have the strength and the self-discipline to quiet those fears, and then everything's going to kind of click into place, and I see you going on your way towards this connection, towards this harmonious connection. And if there are those of you out there that are listening and you're like, oh, I don't know who this could be, this isn't a reading for me, I'm just single and alone forever, you might be surprised that this comes through. And the thing about it is it's going to come through when you're ready and not before. And so if it hasn't come through yet, it's because you're still having to work on the limiting beliefs that that last connection left you with, or the fears that the past kind of left you with. You're going to have to heal more before you can reach this connection. And so to all those people who are like, oh, that's never going to happen to me, it's not happening to you because you're in that energy of being guarded to it, of not really being open to it. And so it's going to come in for sure. There's a change coming in, but that change comes in when you drop your guard. So it's not just about when is this energy going to enter my life, it's when are you going to be ready to meet this energy? When are you going to drop your guard and be truly open to this? And that's why a lot of this reading has been about confronting those limiting beliefs and confronting those fears, because only once you do that will you be truly open to a shift towards letting this energy in. And that's when you're going to start to move towards it. And that's the important part, is not just it coming to meet you, but you going out to meet it. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates, and I'll see you next time. Bye.